lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear. But it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it any shot. A bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just like just keeps away from her.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like that's what I'm grateful.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me. I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Oh baby, let me tell you, Hollywood's been buzzing nonstop about the crazy drama going down between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Now, this started as a big ol' exciting deal to bring the best-selling book It Ends With Us to the big screen. But honey, it quickly turned into a hot mess. We got legal complaints flying, rumors of lies being told, and even a major defamation case popping off. So here's the tea. On one side, we got Blake Lively, claiming she got pushed to the sidelines on creative decisions and was forced into all these comedic and high fashion choices she never signed up for. Then, on the flip side, Baldoni's like, nah, sis, you were all in on those choices, and now you're trying to ruin my name and the whole film. And trust me, it gets juicier. Talk about missing paperwork, shady text messages, and threats of major legal drama. But here's the plot twist. A whole squad of celebrities are coming out of the woodwork to back up Baldoni's side. Now, not everyone's out here being loud about it, but about 10 well-known folks are either speaking up or making their support known behind closed doors. And y'all, this is turning into a whole mess that's got the entire movie world glued to their screens. Sources are saying these defenders range from Baldoni's close homies to folks who've worked with him and appreciate his creative vision and down-to-earth style. Some know him from charity work, others from past movie or TV projects. But no matter the connection, they're all standing by his side, insisting that the whole narrative of Baldoni being some kind of bully just doesn't line up with the man they know. Oh honey, let me tell you, the plot thickens. Now, the voices of these celebrities, mixed with some shady documents that are supposedly backing up Baldoni's story, are flipping the whole script on this drama. People are starting to wonder if Lively might be downplaying or straight up ignoring her own involvement in all those comedic and high fashion moments that hit the screen in It Ends With Us. So let's get into it. This narrative's about to get juicier as we break down the 10 celebs who are coming out the woodwork to defend Baldoni in their own ways. First up, we got Gina Rodriguez, and y'all know her from Jane the Virgin, where Baldoni directed one of the show's most iconic episodes. In an interview where she was mostly chatting about her upcoming projects, Gina got hit with questions about the It Ends With Us drama. She didn't hold back. She took a quick pause and then went off, praising Baldoni for how much respect he gives to the source material. She went on to say that Baldoni would never, ever compromise the emotional heart of a story just to throw in some laughs. She was low-key, hinting that if there was any push for more humor, it likely came from somewhere else. Or maybe it was a team decision, not just one person calling the shots like Lively's been saying. Gina's comments got the internet going crazy, with both fans of the book and Team Lively questioning if what she said actually proved anything. But let's be real, her calm and collected support of Baldoni's character made her one of the most solid defenders in this whole mess. Now, here comes Chrissy Metz, and y'all, she's been in the mix too. If you don't know her, you probably recognize her from This Is Us, where she had us all in tears. But what you might not know is that she met Baldoni through some charitable work. Chrissy ain't just about the on-screen drama. She's been outspoken about how important it is to collaborate behind the scenes in Hollywood. So when rumors started swirling that Lively might not be telling the full truth about the production, Chrissy took to social media with a cryptic post. She wasn't throwing shade, but she was definitely letting it be known that kindness and honesty should always lead the way when discussing creative differences. Word on the street is that Chrissy also pulled some of her close friends aside and quietly had a conversation, standing firm that the whole situation wasn't as simple as it was being made out to be.
Based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And
I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, you know, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
Okay, so Chrissy wasn't out here starting any beef with Lively, but her subtle nod to Baldoni's side, especially about him being all about emotional depth instead of chasing after glitz and glam, definitely caught some attention. Now let's talk about Hilary Swank, y'all. Two-time Academy Award winner, never worked directly with Baldoni, but they run in the same circles when it comes to social justice and philanthropy. Folks close to them say that Hilary was not here for the portrayal of Baldoni as some kind of controlling director who shuts down female voices. Word on the street is that she made it clear that Baldoni's always been about creating an inclusive, empowering environment on set. She didn't drop any public statements, but insiders say she wasn't here for Lively's claims, especially since they didn't line up with Baldoni's reputation for supporting women and telling emotional, authentic stories. People in the industry know Swank doesn't usually jump into drama, so the fact that she quietly sided with Baldoni was kind of a big deal. And then there's Mindy Kaling. Y'all know her for her sharp humor and incredible writing, but what you might not know is that she and Baldoni have been low-key friends for a minute. They vibe with each other's creative energy, constantly showing love on social media. So when Mindy got asked about this whole "it ends with us" mess on the red carpet, she didn't hesitate. She gave Baldoni props for his ability to mix humor and heart, and made it clear that if the comedy came through in the film, it was a group effort. She also backed him up when she said Baldoni's always been a champion for women's stories. Her defense wasn't directly calling out Lively, but it was a strong shout out to Baldoni's history and the kind of person he is, and that's saying a lot.
For a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of 2 people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers, my agent, and they were both on the line, which means it's something serious.
Right.
Either you got the job or there's something wrong.
Yeah,
And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
What?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
Now y'all, Mindy's words weren't just casual chit-chat. Fans saw that as a straight-up endorsement of Baldoni, no questions asked. But hold up, the drama doesn't stop there. Enter Selena Gomez. Now, Selena and Baldoni haven't exactly dropped any big projects together, but they definitely run in the same circles. And trust, those circles are tight. Insiders say Selena wasn't feeling the whole Lively was blindsided narrative about those comedic rewrites. In fact, she reportedly told people that when it comes to big creative decisions, especially with a lead like Lively, there's no way those choices could have been made without her input. Selena's not buying that Lively didn't know about those comedic or fashion changes. While she never said Lively's name outright, her comments about the teamwork and collaboration involved in filmmaking had everybody reading between the lines, and it's clear they were aimed at defending Baldoni's side of the story. And then we got Jordan Fisher, who's been all about backing Baldoni up. The actor and musician worked with Baldoni on different projects, and he consistently shouted out Baldoni for his professionalism and fair treatment of everyone on set. Jordan didn't hold back either, speaking out more directly and giving his full support to Baldoni's reputation as someone who's all about respect and fairness in the creative process. Looks like Baldoni's starting to rack up a serious squad of defenders, huh? Now, Jordan Fisher wasn't out here just talking for the sake of it. When asked about the tension on set, he broke it down real smoothly, saying that Baldoni's the type of guy who'd rather sit down and hash things out for hours than let a single issue slide. That's a big ol' nope to the idea that Lively was out here being constantly disrespected or overlooked. Jordan wrapped it up by saying, if all that comedic and high fashion stuff made its way into the film, it was more likely a group decision, something they all agreed on creatively, rather than Baldoni just throwing his weight around. Fans are eating that up, especially since Jordan's always been seen as this cool, down-to-earth guy who wouldn't steer them wrong. His words? Big-time support for Baldoni's version of events. Next up, we got Auli'i Cravalho, the voice of Moana herself. She might not have any direct work history with either Lively or Baldoni, but they crossed paths at a benefit concert. When the drama came up, Ollie kept it real, saying she just couldn't imagine someone as warm and open as Baldoni, ignoring a star's input, especially Lively's. She went on to describe Baldoni as someone who's not just a collaborator, but also someone who genuinely listens and adjusts to what others bring to the table. That's a pretty big endorsement coming from someone who's seen him in action, even if they didn't work together directly.
Read it, because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, you know, I got snot coming out of my nose.
Ollie's brief words at the fundraiser? Yeah, they hit differently. She might be new to the game, but trust me, she wasn't blind to how important a reputation is in this industry. and her insight added a fresh perspective. But hold up, here comes Shawn Mendes, another big name jumping in. While Shawn's not out here making movies, his bond with Baldoni runs deep thanks to their shared passion for charity work. After the rumors started swirling about Lively twisting the truth for legal leverage, Shawn took to social media to show his support for Baldoni. He called him one of the real ones in Hollywood and praised his dedication to telling honest stories. Now, Mendes didn't name drop Lively, but the timing, it wasn't subtle. He definitely made it clear whose side he was on when Baldoni's integrity was getting dragged through the mud. Then we got Camila Cabello, who stirred things up during a live Q&A with her fans. Someone tossed the question her way, asking if she believed the rumors that Baldoni was pushing comedic changes onto Lively and ignoring her voice. Camila didn't waste time, shooting it down by saying she's never known Baldoni to be manipulative. She went on to talk about how he always works to amplify everyone's voice on set. And on top of that, Camila pointed out that someone like Lively, with all her years in the industry and connections, would not be easily sidelined. Her comments weren't super deep, but they definitely added to the growing feeling that maybe, just maybe, Lively's version of events wasn't telling the whole story. Now, we can't forget about Sophia Bush, who's basically the queen of the Baldoni defense squad, known for keeping it real and advocating for transparency and fairness in Hollywood. Sophia's not one to hold back on what she believes in. Word is, she reached out to Baldoni privately after his lawsuit made headlines, offering him some much-needed emotional support. But she didn't just stay behind the scenes. During a public event about women in film, she threw out a line that had everyone talking. One person's story can't always be taken at face value when we know how complicated big productions can be. People couldn't help but think she was low-key, alluding to Lively's side of things, subtly reminding everyone that these disagreements aren't as simple as black and white. Sophia's message about hearing multiple perspectives really hit home, especially since she's been a vocal advocate for making sure women's voices are heard in every corner of the industry. By pushing for nuance and caution before jumping to conclusions, Sophia's comments gave a little boost to Baldoni's stance, implying that the full truth would eventually come out to clear his name. Now, even with all these big names throwing their support behind him, the heart of the drama is still burning hot. Lively sticks to her guns, saying Baldoni let all those comedic moments and high fashion choices overshadow the emotional core of the book. She's been adamant that her concerns went ignored, leaving her feeling left out of key creative decisions. The whole mess hit a new level when Lively took her grievances to court, claiming defamation and a toxic work environment. But Baldoni wasn't just going to sit back. He slapped a massive $400 million defamation lawsuit on the table, backed by text messages, meeting notes, and other receipts that reportedly show Lively was totally aware of and approved those comedic rewrites and fancy wardrobe choices from the jump. Looks like this one's far from over, and the twists just keep coming.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one?
It's
Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm
Cute.
wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear. But it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
Oh, things took a real turn when rumors started swirling that Lively might have not been 100% truthful about those creative choices. Word on the street is that some new evidence could contradict her claims that she was forced into those comedic scenes and high fashion outfits. If these rumors are true, then the whole blindsided story Lively's been telling might not hold up under close inspection. Now, some folks are saying maybe Lively just changed her mind over time, but others, especially in the industry, are like, hold up, you're telling me a star of her caliber didn't know how well-documented major production decisions are? That discrepancy could really hurt Lively's credibility. And if that happens, Baldoni's version of events would start looking a whole lot more solid. So while the industry watches closely, it's clear people are choosing sides. Lively's supporters are out here saying that sure, big productions can take on a life of their own, and maybe those comedic and extravagant choices were small ideas that grew out of control, catching even her off guard. But then we got the 10 celebrities who've spoken up for Baldoni, and they're seeing things differently. They're siding with him, not just on the principle of creative control, but on the fact that he's always been about collaboration and transparency. This thing is getting messier by the day, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. The 10 celebrities backing Baldoni are sending one clear message. The man's all about respectful collaboration. They're saying there's no way he'd push through major changes without making sure everyone, especially the lead, was on the same page. And it's not just about personal loyalty to him. These are folks known for their authenticity and ethical values in Hollywood. They understand that honesty and respect are at the core of any successful project, especially when it comes to creative decisions. By stepping up for Baldoni, they're not just throwing support behind a friend, they're challenging Lively's version of events. They're suggesting that Lively wasn't just a helpless victim of forced comedic angles and over-the-top fashion choices, but rather an active player who maybe changed her tune once the public reaction to those leaked set photos wasn't what she expected. This puts a whole new spin on things, painting the conflict less about a star fighting for her creative vision and more about an actor scrambling to protect her public image after fans expressed concerns that the adaptation was veering too far from the book's original tone. Meanwhile, fans of It Ends With Us are stuck in limbo, still hoping for an adaptation that would stay true to the novel's deep themes of personal struggle and growth. But now, the book is getting lost in the noise of rumors and lawsuits. Some die-hard readers are worried the true emotional core of the story will get drowned out by all the talk about comedic moments and designer wardrobes. The whole situation's got studios and investors on edge, too, with whispers that the mounting negative press might overshadow any hopes of a big box office win. It's a mess all around, and fans and industry folks alike are wondering if the heart of the story will even make it to the screen.
Bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much, but we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just like keeps away from her.
The longer this drama drags on, the more it seems like the whole film's promotional schedule has come to a screeching halt. No release date, no marketing plan. It's like everything's in limbo right now. But here's where it gets really juicy. Behind all the public bickering, there's a bigger question hanging over both Baldoni and Lively's personal brands. Baldoni has built up this image as a director who's all about emotional truth and empathy, but this lawsuit could shake that up. As for Lively, she's loved for her charm, style, and comedic chops. But if solid evidence comes out that she's been bending the truth about the production, her credibility could take a hit that goes beyond this film. On the flip side, if those rumors turn out to be nothing more than smoke and mirrors, Baldoni might have to eat a humble pie and apologize for throwing around accusations of misrepresentation. But let's be real, the voices of those 10 celebrities defending Baldoni have shifted the public vibe pretty strongly in his favor. Each of them has their own personal reasons for standing by him, whether it's from direct work together, shared charity missions, or just mutual respect for his creative process. The fact that so many high-profile figures have spoken up only adds weight to Baldoni's side of the story. And in today's world, where every email, text, and voice note is potentially a piece of evidence, the truth is harder to hide than ever. Gone are the days when a star's word went unquestioned, especially when other big names stepped up to challenge that narrative. Now people are wondering if any of these celebs might be called to testify in court if this whole thing goes to trial. Imagine the bombshells if depositions reveal whether Lively was on board with those comedic choices or not. This is shaping up to be way bigger than just a movie set clash. At this point, some folks are speculating that a settlement could be in the cards before anyone has to take the stand. If Baldoni's team can present enough hard evidence behind closed doors, it might make Lively's camp rethink dragging this out in court, especially if they start to realize the risk of losing is higher than they thought. But for now, all the public gets are cryptic social media posts, carefully crafted interviews, and little glimpses here and there of where these big names are really standing. On top of that, there's been a lot of buzz about Lively possibly facing legal consequences for her statements. Some of the gossip's gotten a little wild, with rumors even throwing around the idea of her facing years in prison. Legal experts are quick to pump the brakes on those claims, reminding everyone that such extreme outcomes are rare and usually need solid proof of intentional lying. But even so, the mere fact that this is being talked about shows just how high the stakes are in this fight. Baldoni's defamation lawsuit is no joke, and if Lively's accusations end up having holes or misleading details, it could seriously shake up her career going forward. The pressure is on, and it looks like the outcome could change a lot more than just a movie's box office.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Baldoni's squad: Gina Rodriguez, Chrissy Metz, Hilary Swank, Mindy Kaling, Selena Gomez, Jordan Fisher, Auli Cravalho, Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello, and Sophia Bush, are all in his corner, fully convinced that when the dust settles, the facts will clear his name and protect his reputation as a director who's all about emotional authenticity and collaboration. Right now, though, what the public is left with is a Hollywood drama that keeps evolving, touching on themes of honesty, creative freedom, and the fragile alliances that keep big-budget projects running smoothly. It Ends With Us was supposed to be about deep emotional journeys, but ironically, it's turned into a cautionary tale about the highs and lows of star-studded collaborations. Fans are now glued to their screens screens, asking the same burning questions every day. Will more evidence come to light? How will Lively respond to the growing defense of Baldoni? Can the adaptation ever get its momentum back? For now, the only thing we know for sure is that the voices of those 10 celebrities defending Baldoni have really shaken up the public narrative. Their words are giving him a solid defense in this ongoing battle, and the conflict shows no sign of dying down anytime soon. For movie lovers who've been waiting to see It Ends With Us hit theaters, the best-case scenario might be one where the truth comes out, letting the production move forward with minimal fallout. Maybe a settlement will give both parties a way to walk away, or maybe the evidence will all come out in court, settling the rumors once and for all. Either way, it's possible the novel's heartfelt essence will shine through in the film adaptation, drawing audiences back in to experience the story they fell in love with on the page. But until that happens, the drama rages on, showing just how the crossroads of celebrity, creativity, and legal battles can turn what should be a simple disagreement into a full-blown Hollywood scandal. And as much as those 10 celebrities have added weight to Baldoni's side, it's clear that star power alone can't solve this one. For Justin Baldoni, though, the support of such influential voices is a major advantage. It might just be the game changer that shapes how fans, studios, and fellow industry folks ultimately see this very public clash. The saga continues, and we're all waiting to see how it ends.